Welcome to the blissDesigned Masterclass. This is a short class about bliss and eros, and we are demystifying these qualities in our lives to render them embodied and lived through you. My name is Denisa Rensen, and let's dive right in. I have been designing women's lives for bliss for many years as a physician in Hawaii and as a designer and mentor and writer and poet all over the world. You can find out more about my work at denisarensen.com or blissDesigned.com. But essentially, I received a revelation that the true zenith of a woman's physical and metaphysical thriving is a state of bliss, metaphysical freedom, the instinct that awakens when we realize that we are essentially free. And when this happens, the body begins to heal, the mind begins to rest at peace, and the eros awakens, and our legacies and our impact in the world begin to be radiant. And that is my mission, to touch women's lives with these frequencies. We're moving into the highest versions of who we are meant to be in this lifetime. And I am here to uphold this for the future woman and all of us. Through the blissDesigned journey, you will find exquisite salons. You'll find beautiful content around concept of the psyche, the eros, the soma, the futures. Essentially your metaphysicality, your physicality, your erotic openness, and your legacies and your futures. I touch on all of this work in great depth. This is for you if you're longing to upgrade, to expand, to beautify everything you do and create in the world. If you want to feel radiant and thriving and at ease, this is a place of relief for the woman. And I'm so honored to be holding this beautiful space for us in the world. Please take a journey through the blissdesign.com, the magazine, the podcast, and all the salons and programs. I'm also lecturing worldwide on age reversal, reversing the biological age so that our vessels can be healthy and thriving into long, long lives and longevity in the woman. So please take a journey, and you can always book a time to speak with me in person. Let's dive in. In the work with blissDesigned, I speak about 4 spectra of your life. Your physicality, the physical spectrum of your life. Your metaphysicality, your soul, your mind, your emotions, your spirit. The erotic spectrum of your life. And the legacy of your life. And this is a kind of a heuristic that we use in all of our work so that we can really ground our strategies, our expansion potential in these 4 areas. Physically, you're always traveling between degeneration and regeneration. The body is kind of like this watercolor painting, always shifting, always changing, never the same from one minute to the next. So in the foods we choose, in the nutrients, in the therapies, in the medications, in the energetics, in everything we choose for our body, we always ask, to which extent do these strategies have regenerative intent for our vessel, for our body? We're essentially an ensouled physical vessel. Our soul settles in the cellular matrix, and our job is to keep this vessel young and rejuvenating on a minute-to-minute basis. Metaphysically, We know all the wounds and the victimhood we've been bathing in as humanity. We feel that on a daily basis. We keep uncovering new wounds, new states of victimhood. And we are moving and traveling towards healthy frequencies and freedom frequencies. And that is the metaphysical journey towards peace, towards bliss, the instinct that awakens when we realize our infinite nature and our metaphysical freedom. So we work with the spectrum intimately to keep moving us towards the healthy and freedom frequencies in our lives. The erotic spectrum, this is really exciting and juicy. This is all about traveling from the numbness to bliss, from the survival frequencies, the status quo, the thanatos, death, instinct frequencies, traveling towards the creative, the ecstatic, the eros, the life instinct frequencies in our lives. When Thanatos lives through us, we are hide from the world. We're barely surviving. We become rigid and numb and stiff and closed. And as the Eros opens up, as we begin to see the love, the beauty, the radiance of the human life, we move towards bliss, ecstasis, and the creative, and the eros awakens in us. And this is exhilarating. We start to create powerful, radiant work in the world as women. This is what I uphold powerfully for us. This is our solar fuel. The human legacy. Moving from the chaos to clarity, the aimlessness, the astray feeling, the at mercy to life stance that a lot of humanity lives. Getting out of that place and moving towards our meaning and our purpose and our mission. Really stepping into our highest version, the most genuinely aligned human we can be, in creating our work from that place, creating our impact and significance in the world from that place. We will be living long lives beyond 100 years old. In no time, this is changing. We are here to create powerful lives, be of true service to the world through our alignment, our clarity, our purpose, our missions. All of this for the purpose of being bliss, becoming the highest, most awakened, expanded version of ourselves. In my work with blissDesigned, I talk about the flow state. This is a non-ordinary state of consciousness when we are in the zone, when you're creating and you forget the time, when you're creating and you forget yourself. Everything becomes enriched and selfless. This is a flow state. This is the future human state. It's an optimal state of consciousness where we feel our best, we perform our best, we create our best. It's a non-egoic place and it's a liberated place. In my work, I talk about bliss being the yin of flow and ecstasis being the yang of flow. Yin is very receptive, an inhaling type of energy, delight, pleasure, blessedness, beatitude, beautiful attitude, ananda. That is the yin, the receptive flavor of the flow state. Ecstasis, on the other hand, is more energetic, more intense, more euphoric. It's awe, it's the vividness, it's the rapturous nature of a surfer riding that wave, exhaling, penetrating life. So with bliss, you're receiving life, and with ecstasis, you're penetrating life. And this is the beautiful yin and yang of flow. Bliss is the instinct that naturally awakens in us when we realize our metaphysical freedom. This happens as naturally as fear happens when we see something that scares us. Bliss happens without you doing anything. It's instantaneous. And what we're working towards through the techniques, the strategies, the shifts that we're creating with Bliss Design is to encode bliss into who you are now. Eros. This is so exciting to be talking about Eros. The psychoanalysts, Freud, Jung, Plato, they've all agreed that Eros is not just erotic and sexual. Eros is the solar fuel of human creativity, of human creation. It's our intelligence in love. When you are in love, you become the 2.0 version of yourself. You will get aroused, you awaken, you ascend to your highest potential. When you're in love, movement ignites naturally. Eros inspires momentum in us. We just do things effortlessly in this state. It's the frequency at which we feel most alive, and we create and perform at our highest. And in the Bliss Design movement, we are actively igniting, activating Eros frequency in you through everything you do. Through the way you treat your body, through the way you clear your mind, through the way you open your sexuality and sensuality and pleasure, and to the way you design your leadership style, the way you design your businesses and your projects and services in the world. When it's touched with the frequency of Eros, it becomes radiant and healing to the planet. We're designing future humanity here. This is you plus 2.0. This is you with bliss, ecstasis, and the arrow creative frequency embodied, lived, encoded into your DNA. So you no longer experience it just in orgasm or moments of falling in love. You become it. The future human is being bliss, is being Eros. And that's the work I do in the Futures movement. The physicality and the metaphysicality of the future human is bliss, is Eros as the solar fuel to all we create in the world. In the Bliss Design movement, you will find me talking about the 24 key shifts for your life. 6 of them are about your physicality, 6 of them about your metaphysicality, 6 of them are about your erotic opening, and 6 are about your mission, your vision, your purpose, your legacy. Physically, we want you to be moving in a very sovereign way towards your highest health and thriving. You sensing you clearing you nourishing you moving you energizing you upgrading you on a daily basis. This is an hyper agent, a sovereign stance for your physical wellness. You become your greatest ally physically. Your flesh is designed completely by you. Metaphysically, we want you free. We want you loving you. We want you knowing you, your cosmic signature. We want you freeing you every day, releasing, neutralizing the wounds, releasing, neutralizing the victim in us, freeing you. Metaphysical freedom is bliss. You aligning you, igniting you, and emerging the most genuine, most aligned, most cosmically clear version of you. It's a very sovereign movement. This metaphysicality is designed by you with the help of allies and guides and mentors and support and upholding you in this, but you are designing you. Eros, you awake, excited, aroused. You allowing you is number one, letting go of the trauma, letting go of the taboos, and opening erotically and energetically to in loveness in the world. You adoring you, opening you. This is Rumi-esque type of love. This is a mystical reverence for your beingness. It's non-egoic. This is the healthiest love you can ever experience as a human being. You arousing you, orgasming you, unleashing you. This is about becoming the full spectrum woman that you get to be in this lifetime. Completely aligned, open, at ease, moving through life in love. And finally, the legacy shifts are really about designing all your work, all your professional leadership work, your business through you being you, you activating you, you creating you on a moment to moment to moment basis, you trusting you. Trusting the universe, trusting source, trusting your most aligned path. You expanding you and connecting you to the whole of our communities, to the whole of consciousness. We are becoming we consciousness. These 24 shifts are in detail explored in all the salons and the programs in blissDesigned. You can also see a lot of this content in the magazine, so dive straight in. This is an exquisite holding space for the future femme, for the you 2.0, the blissDesigned woman in you. I'm so honored and thrilled to be bringing this woman out in the world. This woman lives inside of you already. We are just opening the doors for her to live in completeness.